Hello, I'm Shane Johnston, Director of Schools in Jefferson County. We are excited about the academic progress that was made during the first semester of the 2021-2022 school year and look forward to a great second semester. I want to remind everyone that teachers and staff that are responsible to come to professional development will be returning on Tuesday, January the 4th, 2022, and the first day for students of the second semester is Wednesday, January the 5th, 2022. We look forward to having a great second semester. With that said, we all know that from time to time we have to be absent from school, and our staff has to be absent from school. They all have families and they face illnesses and things just like you do as parents and friends of the school system. But as much as possible, it's important that we have great attendance during the second semester. Being at school is one of the leading factors research shows of student success in not only mastery of content, but also to help them socially, emotionally, and be just solid learners in this whole process. So as much as possible, we want students to be in school. Of course, still follow all the normal safety protocols in terms of if you're sick and with a fever, do not send your child to school. And we'll continue to monitor the sickness levels throughout the school year as we keep a close eye not only on the COVID-related numbers, but overall absences related to other illnesses. And it is that time of year as we go into January and February where sicknesses tend to be on the increase. So again, have your students at school as much as possible during this semester. And of course, that's as much as possible while still being safe. I do want to say just a word about some testing that's going to be occurring. Per state guidelines, when we return in January, kindergarten through third grade will be taking their second benchmark test. This is the iReady benchmark test that they have already taken the first benchmark test back earlier in the school year. Fourth through eighth grade students actually took that test in December, but per state guidelines, we had to wait till January to make sure K1, 2, and 3 took it in this coming month. So just be aware they will be taking that benchmark test. We have already started analyzing the results in grades 4 through 8. We're going to be sharing that with our school board at the January 13th school board meeting as we break down that data analysis, and it is encouraging the academic progress and growth that we're seeing in students. We all know we still have a long ways to go in what's called achievement, but the growth levels continue to be there, and we're excited about that. As a matter of fact, we plan to do an upcoming video segment with either myself or our data specialist and talking about those type data results and how that information can be used to better help your child and how you can use that information to assess where your child needs additional support and help in the classroom. So we're excited about giving that test and that assessment. It is not a very lengthy test, but it's just a couple of days, about 45 minutes or so, give or take. That test does vary from student to student because it's adaptive, but at the same time, they will be looking at that test and we will use that data to try to better help your child be successful. Well, it's January, and in those winter months, we oftentimes hear rumors and forecasts of wintry weather, as we've experienced here on this first Monday in January of 2022. And I wanted just to talk to you about some of the factors that go into the decisions when we have to look at possibly closing school or dismissing school early or coming in late. One, we take informing parents very, very serious. You are very, very important in this process, and we want to make this as painless as possible. And we understand last-minute decisions often cause panic and cause difficulty with work situations as well. Not everyone has as much flexibility as others do in their work setting, so we wanted just to go over some of those factors that we look at. First of all is the forecast. You know, a slight chance of snow overnight is much different than a winter weather or a storm warning where they are forecasting not it might snow, but rather it's going to snow 3 to 6 inches or something like that. I truthfully told, in a perfect world, by 8 p.m. every time we could let parents know the detailed plan for the next day, but that's rarely how the situation or scenario plays out. Ideally, it's also easier when I wake up in the middle of the night at 3 or 4 in the morning. If there's 4 inches of snow, that's easy as well throughout the county. So what happens is I work with our transportation department and some other of our central office supervisors as well as some other folks throughout the county, and we even ride roads beginning at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when there's wintry weather in the forecast and possibly actually occurring. We also call the Jefferson County Dispatch and talk to them. Are you having and hearing reports of slick roads? Are there any any issues with trees down and those kind of things. So the road conditions are a factor. It's a major factor when you think about we have 550 teachers, almost 700 additional employees, including substitute teachers that are impacted, the hundreds of parents that must drive their students to school each day, and not only that, we have 600 approximately students that drive to campus each day. So we take those road conditions very, very serious, including the possibility of black ice on those mornings when it may be a little slick before the sun pops up, and that's why we sometimes look at a 2-hour delay. 2-hour delays are not ideal, but we do use those in some situations because I would rather have 4 or 5 hours of school than have to miss school in its entirety, especially if we're in a season of winter where it seems like we're having multiple days that we're having to dismiss school. So at the same time, we always want to err on the side of safety. We also look at the forecast in terms of what is the possibility or probability that we're going to get them to school but only have to turn around and send them home at 11 or 12 or something like that. We always want to make sure not only we get to school safely, but we get everyone back home safely as well. So we look at the road conditions, the forecast, we look at all of those different factors that go into that, and then communicate and collaborate with our local law enforcement, emergency management officials from time to time, and we just try to come up with a plan. Again, one thing I want to let everyone know about our phone notification system is we try to make a decision by 5:30 a.m. because that is what time our buses start going to the farthest point out and then start bringing students to school. That way we can let them know before they get out and about and start picking up students. That's at 5:30 a.m. However, if I make a phone call at 5:30 a.m. because it is going to 7,100 approximately student homes and families and different phone numbers, not to mention employees, 1,200 additional ones, so about 8,000 to 8,500 different numbers may be being used. It can take 30 to 40 minutes sometimes for that phone call to actually, from the moment I hit send, for it to get to your phone. It didn't mean we waited that long to make the decision. It just takes the phone notification system that long sometimes to make those notifications. So we just want you to be aware of that. Again, we always want to take safety, student safety, of utmost importance in all aspects, and that's why we take our school safety plan so seriously. We have tabletop discussions, we have even scenarios and a different type of drills that we have in all aspects of school safety, but even these wintry weather mornings factor into that. Matter of fact, in the last couple of years, we've even had to use some of our stockpile days for flooding, and that figures in as we have also protocols that we look at. How many roads are flooded? How many buses go down that? Has that impacted by students as well? So as we go into these winter months, just know we take notifying you very, very serious, and we're going to always do our best to get everyone to school safely and home safely, but we also want to have school as many days in person that we possibly can where your child is in front of one of our certified and highly qualified teachers and staff members, and they're taken care of all day, and they're fed, and they're in a safe, nurturing, warm environment all day. We want to do that as many days as possible, but as safely as possible. In the coming days, I already mentioned we want to do an upcoming video concerning our school data and what we're seeing in this year. We know it will take multiple years to recover from the impact of COVID and school closure in the spring of 2020, and then the very much disrupted year of last school year. But we always want to brag on our teachers, our staff, our school employees, our bus drivers, everyone working together with you as parents and family members and our students to help regain all of the things that possibly were impacted during those COVID interruptions, and we're excited to have that video coming up about what we're seeing in this year's data. An additional video, I know many of you have heard about federal stimulus money that school districts have and different things. As we enter now January, February, it is budget season as we already start looking at the next year's school budget and we start working to build that. And I hope to do a video very soon in the coming weeks about some of the budget processing and then also how we have used that federal money to both help our school system, our students, our teachers, our staff, and various other things in that. So with that said, I'm looking forward to a great second semester, and I'm confident we can have a great second semester. And I would just ask one thing. Every chance that you get, please find a school employee, a bus driver, cafeteria worker, a teacher, an office worker, an assistant, an administrator, and just say thank you and let them know how much they're appreciated. They do indeed care about your children, and we don't always do everything perfect because we're not Jefferson County perfect schools, but we are Jefferson County schools, and we care about your children and want to do a great job in helping provide them a high quality educational experience. So I look forward to working together with everyone throughout this semester for a great spring semester of the 2021-2022 school year, and we look forward to finishing this year very strong by starting this second semester on a high note. Thank you for your ongoing and continued support. Have a blessed day, and we thank you for all you do to make Jefferson County schools #1.